In 1933, in Germany, Adolf Hitler came to power. And in the following years, from 1933 onwards, he built up the German military. In the year 1939, he invaded then, together with the Soviet Union, Poland. And he also annexed Czechoslovakia and Austria. Britain and France declared a war on Germany because of that. And the Second World War was going on. In 1939. In 1940, the Germans had also conquered Belgium and the Netherlands. They were now advancing through France. And the British and French troops fighting in France to defend France against the Germans had to retreat. And they were now trapped at the west of France, at the coast near Dunkirk. And 300,000 were trapped, and then the evacuation of Dunkirk happened. And from Britain out, not only the Navy, but also civilians with small pleasure boats and fishing boats sailed over to Dunkirk, from Britain to Dunkirk, and evacuated these 300,000 trapped soldiers. And that gave rise to the phrase, the Dunkirk spirit. Then, after France's fall, for 1 year Britain was fighting Germany almost alone. There were also Canada and Australia and New Zealand and the Union of South Africa and India fighting on behalf of the Allies. So these are the Allied at the time, and the other ones, Germany, Italy, and the Empire of Japan, the Axis. For 1 year, Britain was fighting alone, from June 1940 until June 1941. During that year, in the summer of 1940, the Battle of Britain happened. German airplanes were attacking Britain, and Britain, with the Royal Air Force, was defending itself with planes, for example, the Spitfire and Hurricane. Britain won the Battle of Britain, but Germany continued to bomb the United Kingdom, in particular Coventry and the east end of London. And that bombing is known as the Blitz. And there's been the phrase, the Blitz spirit, and that means that the people are pulling together in hardship. So if someone says in the United Kingdom, the Blitz spirit, then they mean that the Britons are pulling together when they're facing hardship. During the time in Britain, the Prime Minister was Winston Churchill. In 1940, he became Prime Minister, and he was an inspirational leader for many Britons. In his first speech as a Prime Minister, he, for example, said one line, and that line was, "I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears and sweat." Then after the evacuation of the 300,000 trapped British and French soldiers from Dunkirk, he said, "We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills, we shall never surrender." And during the Battle of Britain, so the air battle, there he said, "Never in the field of human conflict was so much out by so many to so few." The Second World War was fought all over the world. Also in India, there was threat from Japan. So Japan was there also. And Britain was fighting in Singapore, and then also Burma was threatened, and India was threatened. Then Germany attacked the Soviet Union in the June 1941, and Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, so the United States, in December 1941. And now the Soviet Union and also the United States of America were also fighting against Germany, Italy, and Japan. Germany had heavy losses in the Soviet Union. When they attacked the Soviet Union, there were heavy losses for the Germans. And for both sides had heavy losses. But the Germany all over had heavy losses, and the Soviets were advancing. Now combined, all the Allied, for example, then all the time Britain, France, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, the United States of America, the Soviet Union, got stronger, and on the 6th June 1944, they landed in the Normandy, in western France, and started to liberate France, other countries, and then also to push for Germany. And in May 1945, Germany surrendered from the combined forces from the Soviet Union and from the Allied forces landing in Normandy and conquering all of Europe. When we were at Manchester and Cambridge University, scientists working under the leadership of Ernest Rutherford on splitting the atom. And that was an important step in the Manhattan Project to make then the atom bomb. So in the Manhattan Project, the Americans then built the atom bomb, and they dropped two, one on Hiroshima and one on Nagasaki in Japan. And that forced Japan to surrender. So then Japan surrendered in the August 1945, and with that the Second World War ended. And that is according to the Life in the UK Test Handbook on several pages, for example 50 and 51.